Anybody in here? Thanks, Marlon. Appreciate it. Hello, hello. Putting up my screen. Hello, John. Greetings. How you doing? Wakey, wakey. That's right, Marlon. Everybody get up because I'm about to put you all to sleep. Hi, David. Actually. Hi, Delphine. Eggs and bakey. Wakey, wakey. Eggs and bakey. That's right. Dani with an I. You got it. All right. Per usual, let's give people a couple minutes to enter the gateway. Everybody doing okay today? I assume that's a yes. Everybody a little bit bored of the range? Oh, we just broke out a little bit. Yeah. Now we're inside the opening range. You got it. Peachy good. That's cool. I always find it so interesting that David, you just put up an image too in the PTG, and it's just talking about the percentage of a neutral day is so high, and yet I've never met, I shouldn't say never, but it's rare that I've found an electronic trader who enjoys a range. And it's funny because I was talking to my dad yesterday. We were talking about ranges, and he's like, "What are you talking about? I love a good range." And most traders love good ranges. And I totally, we got down to the discrepancy. And it's because he taught trading for so many years to pit traders and teaching them to buy even, sell ones, buy even, sell ones, buy even, sell ones all day. And you could do it, you know, exaggerating, but 100 times a day. And it was fine. You're collecting money. But for an electronic trader to sit and watch a range and really want to initiate buying the low and selling the high of a certain range is so discomforting and sometimes often not worth it. So I find it's very interesting to me, the difference. But here nor there. All right, let's get started. I hope everybody's here. I hope everybody's ready. Thanks for coming. My name is Dani. This is Markets and Mindset on August 26th, 11 a.m. Central Time. Today we'll be talking about the observer, and that's you. So getting into the observer state. So that also requires presence. And the way to do that is through what we do in these sessions. It's moving our bodies, breath work, and then getting into the actual mindset of meditation so that we can observe what really serves us and what doesn't. And to come along with that, a space of non-judgment, full acceptance, and non-attachment, so that we can either work on what we need to grow and get a sense of that, and or let go of what, again, no longer serves us. So typically we start with movement. If you're a repeat offender with endearment, you know where we're headed. We're going to move our bodies. You could do this seated or standing. But before we do this, let's go ahead. I need everybody to stand up. I know, you guys. I know. But stand up. And the only reason why I'm asking you to do this is because I did it myself this morning and it just felt so good. So go ahead and get out of your chairs if you are seated. And I want you to get into a forward fold. So what does that mean? Bend your knees, hinge at your hips, and lower your head further than your heart, lower than your heart. So bend your knees, hinge at your hips, and fold down. Okay, if you're a yogi or you've been to a yoga class and you're familiar with it, Awesome. Just feel your body out. So those of you who this may be difficult for you, bending your knees will actually help you. Right? I'm not looking to strain the body. You're not looking to strain the body. We're just looking for inventory as to how the body exists today here in the present moment at 11:05 Central Time. And we're doing this through a forward fold. And interlace your hands behind your head. Keep your elbows wide and just allow your head to hang even further, right? Stretch your neck away from your shoulders. Again, you can widen out the stance of your feet. So take hip distance. That may even help you a bit. Close your eyes. Some of you may sway a little bit from side to side. Some of you may already know to grab opposite elbows versus behind your head. And just hang. So literally and figuratively hang, and just let anything that exists within your mindset before you got to this class, to this session, let it just roll down your spine, along the back of your head, onto the ground, and let the ground absorb it, right? Literally and figuratively. You can bend and straighten your legs. If it's easier to, when you bend your legs, you can rest your belly, your torso onto your thighs, if you have the space. No judgment here. This is your way. This is just allowing you to just take a deep, healthy pause. And couple breaths, big inhale, open mouth exhale, even make an audible exhale. So sigh it out. And then go ahead, release your hands to the ground or to your shins, whichever you can reach. And then slowly roll up. Keep your knees bent. Slowly roll up one vertebra at a time till you're standing. You can keep your eyes closed or open them if that's easier for you. And then roll your shoulders behind your back if you can to open up your heart space. And then when you come to standing, close your eyes. You can either place both your palms together to touch right at your heart center. Your thumbs rest against your heart in prayer pose, otherwise known as prayer pose. And if this isn't comfortable for you for whatever reason, again, no judgment, non-attachment. This is only comforting your body. Rest one hand on your heart and then the other hand on top of the other. And then go ahead and set your intention for this session. This is probably the first time I think I've done this with you guys, to actually set an intention of your own for what you want to receive out of the information I give to you today. And some of the information I will actually say and you'll hear, or some information you'll intuitively pick up because you need it with your own thoughts based on what I say and what I share. So go ahead and set your intention. My intention for you is to become an observer without attachment, without judgment, with full acceptance where you're at in your process, both in life and in trading. That is my intention for you. It is a work in progress. It is a process, but you have to start somewhere. So breathe in your attention, and perhaps breathe in mine through the nose. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. 2 more times, breathe in. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Last time, breathe in through your nose, fill up your entire body. You may feel even different than you started already. And then exhale it out. And open your eyes if they were closed and go ahead and have a seat. Okay, so now you're even more present for the session than you were just about 4 minutes ago. It's pretty amazing, the work. All it was a forward fold. Right? Another tool for you to get out of a mind frame that perhaps at one time isn't serving you and you need a quick adjustment. You have it, your body, your breath. Okay, so let's get started in the actual movement. You know where to start. For those who are repeat offenders, for those who are new, we always start at the toes. We'll go ahead and start to spread our toes, crunch our toes. So expand, contract. If you have socks on or shoes on, you might want to take off your shoes. You may want to take off your socks. This is absolutely PG. This is just movement within the body. So expand, contract, and do that about 5 times. You can do it fast, you can do it slow, you can tune into your breath while you do it. We're really starting to move the energy within your body after that long, maybe you thought it was boring, maybe you thought it was exciting morning in your trading market. But we're moving out of that realm into the body, into the mind, into the breath. And once you've expanded and contracted your toes, go ahead and rotate your ankles to the right, rotate your ankles to the left. Do that a couple times and just notice, maybe you hear some cracks in one direction, maybe some cracks in the other direction. It's just your body providing feedback. And then go ahead and pedal out your feet. So really pumping your calves essentially and the blood flow. So pedal. Take a couple of rounds, use your breath. You can intuitively touch base with your body and see if you need to utilize your breath even more during this movement. And so you're checking in, not so much on my cues and your breath with my cues, but you tune in. You notice where you need more breath, where energy needs a little bit more help to move out of stagnation, if there is any. And then go ahead and do kickouts with your lower legs. So as if you were swinging on a swing. Some of you have kids and maybe they play in the playground, or some of you act like children, which is a good thing. You get in sync with that inner child. You know, it's funny, I walk by this park all the time and I look at the swings and I'm like, maybe one day I'll head out there. So go ahead and kick out through your lower legs. And then once you've gotten enough movement that you need with your lower legs, go ahead and take a figure 4 with your right ankle over your left thigh. And if you're in your chair, you may need to readjust. Sometimes you got to push back to get the full stretch. And take it easy on your stretches. And some of you are deeper in your stretch than others, and because we can't see each other, you don't have that comparison concept looming, but it still exists with our trading as well. And especially when we're in groups and communities, there is that touch of comparison. So just obviously, when we're paying attention to our own selves, that is the most important. And then go ahead and take your figure 4 on the other side. So take your left ankle, cross your right knee, as in a literal figure 4. And continue through each different posture movement to observe what, where, and how your body exists. With no judgment, no attachment, and just taking in data. Body data, yeah? Okay, release your legs. And then if you want, another exercise here would be to knee hug. So go ahead and bring your knee up into your chest, and you can interlace your fingertips below your knee to bring your knee into your chest. Just do that a couple times. See how that feels for your hip flexors and your hamstrings. And then for today, I thought it would feel really nice if for your torso, before we even get into the twist, go ahead and push your chair back. If you're on rollers, also be mindful. Go ahead and push your chair back so you have the full length of your spine and your hands can reach out onto your desk. And you can actually hinge at your hips so your body is parallel to your floor. You can scoot your backside back a little bit and keep your head in line with your neck and your spine. So we have a tendency to drop our neck. So lift it up a little bit. Still gaze down a little bit forward. And just notice the decompression of your spine as it relaxes and provides more length. And take a couple breaths here for sure. And then to get out of that, walk yourself a little bit closer to your desk and then push off your palms to lift your torso up a little bit. And then we'll take a twist. So place your left hand to the outside of your right thigh behind your knee. Not on versus rather on your knee. So then take your right hand behind your glutes, lift up. So find that length you just created and exhale, twist over to your right. You can shift your gaze. This helps with your peripheral vision, which also helps with your trading. Allows you to see somewhat of the bigger picture. Helps you to start thinking more ahead. And David talks about that in PTG, really anticipating what the market may do, right? Working on your peripheral vision helps you with that. So you may follow your gaze as you twist and compare each time within your own body how far you can actually turn without force. Key, without force. And then go ahead, release that, and then place your right hand behind your left knee onto your left thigh. Place your left hand behind your glutes, lift up from that same length and twist. Follow your gaze if you're able to, if you have that mobility in your neck. And then come back to center. We'll work the side body. Either interlace your hands, press your palms towards, press your palms away from you and then up to the sky. Lift up. You can do this. If this isn't accessible for you, then go ahead and take your right hand to your left wrist, lift up, and then stretch over to the right side. Hands down, my favorite stretch of the entire world. You can quote me on that. And then go ahead and do that on the other side. So either interlace, you may want to switch the interlace of your fingertips, press out and up, or take your left hand to your right wrist, lift up and over to the left. And come back to center. Go ahead and place your palms behind you just as you did in your forward fold. Rest them gently, gently behind your ears. And I want you to expand your elbows back up to open up your chest. And then exhale, curl your spine. So similar to cat-cow for those yogis, but just work in the front side and the back side. Because sometimes as humans, we tend to hunch over our screens and our phones. Yep, I'm guilty of it myself, the rotation of my shoulders. So let's open that up. Move those muscles, all those good muscles around our rotators. Yeah. And then take a couple more with that. We'll go to our shoulders. If you release your arms, just shrug your shoulders up and back, roll them down, forwards, backwards. Sometimes when I do it, I hear my muscles go. It's not a crack, but it's like a rollover. It just reconfirms I've needed the movement. Okay. Just giving more energy to those muscles, to those ligaments, those blood vessels, bones, all the good things when we move our bodies, especially good things to the mind, to bring us back connected to our bodies. And then release the shrug of your shoulders. Go ahead and swing your arms. You can even do arm circles. Use your breath while you're doing it. Forwards, backwards. You can reach them out and do it side to side if you want to be like Jane Fonda circles. Sometimes I'm like, what comes out of my mouth is so random. Sorry. All right, let's stretch our forearms. Reach your arms out and then go ahead and open your palm, your left palm, and take your right hand and bend your fingers down to stretch your forearms. Right? So I've talked about it before. Your heart is your hands are the extension of your heart energy. So what you're doing is, when you're angry and you're clicking the mouse, or you're frustrated and you're clicking the mouse, what you're doing is constricting all that energy. So let's go ahead and stretch it out. And do the opposite side. You can do press forward too. Upside. And then take wrist circles. And while you're here, go ahead and expand, contract your fingertips, right? Open it up. And then shake that out. Shake all your hands, your arms, everything, just shake it out. Let's take gentle stretch for our neck. So right hand to the left side of your head, just above your left ear, and gently stretch your neck over to the right. You can close your eyes. You can turn your gaze to get the full side of your left side of your neck. Maybe you can feel it all the way in the back towards your traps. And then go ahead and do it on the other side. Take your left hand just above your right ear, gently stretch and guide the left side of your head towards your, oh my goodness, excuse me, your left ear towards your left shoulder. And drop your right ear away from, or excuse me, your right shoulder away from your right ear. And turn your gaze. I'm thinking I need this stretch more than you guys today. Jeez, oh Pete. All right, come back to center. Take a deep breath in and exhale it out. And just notice any difference of your body and how this stretch, especially those of you who have come to sessions continually, if it felt any different, having started with the forward fold and setting your intention through the movement, do you feel even more grounded? So the concept of today is the observer. So observe how your body feels. And does it feel any different? And just take note, right? This is body data. And if your body feels so much better, if you feel so much more grounded and connected to yourself by just taking 20 minutes to do these stretches, what's to stop you from doing them on a daily on your own if you don't do them already? Or during the times of challenging times when maybe things not only in trading or in your daily life are frustrating and or you need to move and to change something in that moment. All it takes is your breath and your movement. That said, let's get started with counting your cycles of breath. So last week we did box breathing. This week I thought we'd do just count your cycle of breath. So inhale, exhale is 1. Inhale, exhale is 2. Inhale, exhale 3. So on and so forth. Okay. So I first learned this My dad taught me how to do this. This is probably my first introduction to actual breath work. And he taught it to me while he was coaching me running. So I never ran cross country. I just ran, or even track. I just ran because I loved to run. And my dad had originally was a track coach. And so I loved to run distance. And so he taught me how to use this breath work. And what was always fascinating, I remember one of my runs, running down Volts Road in Northbrook, where I grew up. And I remember just being so fascinated by the fact that I would just forget where I was, not really connecting the dots that I had put myself in a meditative state, but really it just was fascinating. It still fascinates me today. So I'm going to ask you to do the same. So know that wherever you leave off, whatever number you forget, just start over again. Okay. So let's do it. I'm going to lead you up to 10, and then I'm going to hold you for a few minutes, about 3 minutes, for you to continue on your own. Okay, so you can close your eyes, you can keep your eyes open, whatever works best for you. So let's just start with 3 even breaths. So breathe in and exhale it out. Yeah, for sure. Breathe in, exhale it out. One more time. Breathe in, exhale it out. Okay, let's begin. Breathe in, exhale. 1. Breathe in, exhale. 2. Inhale, exhale. 3. Inhale, exhale. 4. Inhale, exhale. 5. Inhale, exhale. 6. Inhale, exhale. 7. Inhale, exhale. 8. Inhale, exhale. 9. Inhale, exhale. 10. All right, you take the next 3 minutes on your own. You can start from 1 again or continue from 10, and just notice, observe. Maybe your cadence is shorter than mine. Maybe your cadence is longer. Practicing non-judgment, non-attachment to any number. Right? I know some of you will try and see how long you can go, how far you can go, and it's a test. Let that go. This is just allowing your body to get in touch with your breath using counting cycles. Maybe you find yourself repeating all the way up to a specific number and then starting over and hitting that number again, and then forgetting and then hitting that number again. If that's the case, I would look into the spiritual meaning of that number for you today. But giving yourself to observe and to listen. Couple more minutes. For some of you, it may be daunting if I give you open time to do the work on your own, but it's intentional so that you get used to and confident that you're able to use this on your own in times of need, or just develop a practice on your own if you have yet to have one. And just one more minute. Such good work. Awesome job. Let that go. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. Now I have the worksheet up today. You can keep your eyes closed if you have them closed. Just showing for the masses that it is a worksheet. But if you want to come back to the worksheet, you can do the count on your own through that section of counting the cycle. All right, moving on. So if you opened up your eyes, go ahead and close them again. We're going to the last part of the session where we spend in a body scan. So we've done the movement, we've done the breath work, and now our body should be super grounded, as grounded as you can be in the moment for yourself. So some of us may take more time to be grounded, and that's A-okay. We come to these sessions different every day. Sometimes our minds are more busy than others, and sometimes we're able to just ground down and get in there. But so let's get into the body completely now that we've moved and we have our breath work. So go ahead and close your eyes. I think I'd like to start at the head again, similar to last week. So go ahead and tune into your scalp and near the top of your head. And just notice, observe. I know we've gotten through all the muck from, not that it's always muck, but all the information that we took in between the open and now through numbers and strategies and graphs and conversation. So tune into your scalp and go ahead and let your scalp and your head, the top of your head, just relax, soften. The key here is to observe the space between your thoughts, to also then listen for the thoughts and the thoughts that matter, that we need to work on, the thoughts that we need to bring in and grow from, and then the thoughts that we no longer need to let go again. So soften through your ears. Soften through your forehead, your eyebrows, your temples, all the muscles around your eyes, your cheeks, your nose, even your nostrils, your lips, your jaw. And so notice as your jaw relaxes, there becomes more space between your top teeth and your bottom teeth, and it allows for more space for your tongue to drop off the roof of your mouth, gives you more airway. And look into your neck and observe front, side, back as you soften through the muscles that connect your head and your shoulders to your body. It's just the most amazing feature, I think. Go ahead and relax the area, your throat. And your shoulders. When you create more space between your shoulders and your ears, your arms actually get longer. So you can readjust your arms if you need to. And relax your upper arms, your elbows. You may say, how do I relax my elbows? Check in with your body. Your forearms, your wrists, your fingertips. There's a sensation of sinking and expansion when we do this work. And both those sensations allow for us to tune into our systems even deeper, to be more open, more willing for more information that suits us innately. So come back to your chest and your upper back. Just notice if any muscles or if your heart center needs a little bit more softening, more understanding of yourself, more kindness, more acceptance. Notice what that does to your arms as well. And your chest, your ribs, your lungs, your solar plexus. If you know that area where your rib cage meets, it's just above your belly button. So your mid torso, and then your mid back. So think 360 degrees, scanning. Giving yourself opportunity for thoughts to come in, for you to notice. And then go ahead into your mid belly, lower belly, your intestines, your stomach, all your organs, your liver, your pancreas, your gallbladder, your spleen, your kidneys, your adrenals on the backside. And when we pay attention to our bodies and we connect our bodies and our minds and we take the space to do this work, there's gems that we receive and they come in between the spaces in our thoughts. Our glutes, groin, upper legs, quads, IT band, your hamstrings, your inner thighs, your outer thighs, adductors, abductors. Your knees, fronts of your knees, the backs of your knees. Your calves, your shins, inside, outside. Your ankles, your heels, the tops of your feet, the bottoms of your feet, your toes. I want you to imagine you're in a shower of light. cleansing white light as it cleanses all the cells that need to be rinsed, whether they came with all the energy and the thoughts that are misaligned with who you truly are and what really works for you. And again, as you rinse them, you give your body and all the other cells space to create more aligned and alignment, to call in more things that will work better for you. And in this space, we'll do our actual markets mindset work, right? It takes a long time to get into this space, but you did it. And I really would like you to tune into what is your first innate response when you sit down and look at the market. Is your response, do you see breakouts? Are you looking for breakouts? Are you looking for reversals? Are you looking for pullbacks? Are you in sync with ranges? Do you use simple, and I say simple because just levels, support and resistance levels as pivots? So think about that. What's your first inclination when you sit down? What do you look for? It's different for everybody. I'm going to give you a couple minutes to actually think about that. And again, we come to this space as an observer. So there's zero judgment in our intuitive answer. It's just providing data for us to work on as a foundation. To understanding ourselves as we sit down and call ourselves traders and do the work that is required of us, both in front of the screens and away from the screens. So again, do you look for breakouts? Do you look for reversals? Do you look for ranges? Do you look for pullbacks? And perhaps even think of an example, or you see your support, your resistance levels. Maybe you see where the pullback is. Maybe you see the breakout. Maybe you already can tell in your mind exactly what today's opening range was, which is both a breakout strategy and a range. And hopefully you understand the difference between the two. If you don't, we'll get there. You'll get there, I promise. And just let your body sit with the information that you've given it and that comes to mind and that it has given to you. Based upon your answer, what conditions do you know must be met for the market to actually gravitate toward that behavior that you look for? Do you know those conditions? So it took me a while to really understand personally that the opening range is a breakout and a range, and that what I really look for are breakouts all the time. That's my innate response to the market. But I need volatility and momentum in order to make that work. So I'm asking you in this state of meditation and willingness and openness to receive information from your true self, Do you know the conditions that must be met to follow through with what your intuition, your first foundation of what you see in the market, your innate strategy? And just allow, if you know the conditions, awesome. If you don't, awesome. The part of this work is law of attraction. So if there's something missing or something you feel is missing from your work, when you do this work in meditation, you will call it in somehow. It finds a way to give you the information you need to know. When these conditions are absent, if you know them, do you stay out of them, out of the market? No judgment, no attachment, just an acceptance of where you are at in the present moment as the observer of the answers to the questions you're honestly giving yourself. I can honestly say that sometimes, often, not as often as I used to, but if the conditions are absent, I would still stay in. It's taken me a while. I've talked about it before. It's the C plus clusters. I had a couple of them yesterday. If you'd like to stay in the market, what would be a secondary market response you'd like to get better at? And for me, just as I share while you guys are thinking about yours, for me, I really couldn't understand for a very long time that dreaded creeping rally. And I really wanted to get better at reading it, and was gifted the opportunity to actually learn from David and PTG to understand the pullback concept, which has changed a lot of how I trade, and how I see the market. So it's, if there is a secondary response you'd like to get better at, then go ahead and give yourself the opportunity. Is it the breakouts? Is it the reversals? Are there tools that you want to acquire to help you see the market in a different way? You don't have to know the tools right away. I didn't know how to do it. I just knew I wanted to do it. And it's in these spaces where you stay connected to yourself that you bring in that law of attraction to put all the feelers out. Right? I've said it before, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. The teacher is ready, the student will appear. I'll give you a couple minutes just to take in that information and also put out that information on an energetic level. Another question that may come up is, do you have the tools and understanding to see the market in an integrated way? So you may have your innate ability of your strategy of how you see the market and you execute, but can you see the market for what it is at a bigger scale in an integrated way? And so are you more open and willing to see it for what it is versus forcing to what you want it to be? Do you have those tools? If you don't, that's okay. It may even be an opportunity for you to look at the bigger picture, look at your market at the year scale, then the month, or excuse me, you start at the year, then you go to the quarterly, then the monthly, then the daily, monthly, then the weekly, then the daily, and then in your time frame, and maybe there's even bigger time frames than where you trade that you need to look at as well. It may just start there. How often are you open to what the market has placed in front of you without your bias or with your bias? You may already have a bias as to where you want the market to go, but the market is only presenting a 20 handle range. And I've actually found comfort where that range is. I think I said it before, and albeit it may be uncomfortable for how you trade, are you able to set that aside? Your discomfort, your bias. All these questions are opportunity for you to do the work, whether you're in meditation or on the worksheet I gave you a space to free write for 5 minutes, which free writing is typing and or actually pen to paper for straight 5 minutes. So just continuous thought rather than stopping and thinking about it. To gain more information, to put more energy out there to what you need and or what you're curious about in your trading and perhaps outside of your trading. The key is to observe these thoughts and these answers that come to mind without judgment, without attachment, with understanding and acceptance. And I think I'll stop asking the questions here. There's more questions on the worksheet, of course, but I'm going to give you another 2 minutes to sit with what's coming up. And maybe you've fallen asleep, and that's okay. That means you've needed the rest. And I'll bring you guys out of it when you're ready. So stay here a couple more minutes. And for those of you who'd like to be guided out, follow along. Go ahead and take a deep breath in. An open mouth exhale, let it go. 2 more times, breathe in. Exhale it out. 1 more time, big inhale. Through the nose, fill up your entire body, head to toe. And then exhale it out, let it all go. All right, as we close eclipse season, you can awaken your eyes, your gaze. Again, rotate your wrists, your ankles. You can stretch, whatever. Big morning stretch if you have gone into a deep, deep meditation. If those of you who are still resting, then stay rested for sure. But as we close out eclipse season and coming into a full moon, just know you've done great work today. And if you take that opportunity to do the 5 minutes, the pen moving, or typing continually your thoughts for 5 minutes, it's just even better during this time of eclipse and the full moon to let go and invite more goodness in. Today's, I thought I would, I don't know, maybe it's a nice treat for you guys, but you know that along my journey of the financial industry and fintech career, I do have a branch of energy work and energy work teaching and teaching yoga, meditation, and all the above, obviously. But this morning I went to practice from one of my old playlists, and I think it was September 1st, 2017. So I thought it would be nice for you guys to have access to that playlist for whatever reason during this time as we embark, again, close out eclipse and enter into the full moon, all into a new month, and then into quarterly expiration in a couple weeks as well. So enjoy the playlist. It's a link on there. For those of you who already know, I'm going to repeat myself, to access this information, it's tradeanchors.com. You click on the tool suite and it'll open up a whole slew of information that we've gone through. These are quick links at the top, and then the middle section and further on down is everything that we've discussed over the weeks past, and always the one with the teal border, the observer, that is today's session. You can go through, there's a little bit additional information that I've shared and didn't share, so go ahead and read that. That may interest you, may even give you support that you're not alone in your journey of trading and or life. And beyond that, as you know, if you did not attend yesterday, the funded path for Pitbull traders, while you're here in the pit, they are offering a discount promos for their funded program. There's 2 different discount codes, and certainly I would take advantage of it. You know, I love the funded program, and it has really helped me out learn. I've traded both my funds across my lifetime and funded programs, and I truly, truly appreciate and the environment and community that Pitbull Traders provides for their traders. So check them out, obviously. If you have any questions, you can email me or you can message me on the portal here. I thought that we would launch the Funded Path Institute, the first cohort, in September. It seems to be too soon, so we are going to move it out to December. December 22nd will be the intro first day, and then we'll launch for 9 weeks starting in January. So again, if you have questions, please let me know, and make it a great day, guys. Feel good about yourselves. Feel good about the work that you've done. Drink lots of water, electrolytes. Does anybody have any questions? I almost forgot. I apologize. Delphine. Awesome. Awesome. Great. Cool. Most welcome, John. Thanks so much. You guys, I appreciate it. I'm so grateful you guys show up. Please also be grateful for yourselves for showing up. It's a lot of work, and I'm grateful. Okay, thanks, guys. Have a great one. Take care. Bye-bye.